Hello and welcome back to the Fundamentals of SQL course. We are in the SQL Statement Foundations section and we are focusing on the order by clause. So the goal of any order by clause is to sort the records that you're returning in either ascending order or descending order. And ascending order is just low to high, A to Z, and then descending order is high to low or Z to A. So based on the last video that we discussed, our select statement doesn't return records in any particular order other than a primary serial key if it's there. So in order to ensure that we get a specific order, we use the order by clause. Order by allows sorting by one or more columns, depending on the columns that you call. So here's our general syntax of any order by statement. So we select our column names, just like our shopping list, from our designated table, where, and we give it a condition. We'll discuss our where in 2 lessons, and then we order by our column names. And then after that, we have to specify ascending, low to high, or descending, high to low. And if we don't specify ascending or descending after our column name, SQL is just going to default order it ascending. So for our examples, we're going to use the film table in our sample DVD rental database. And the great thing about Snowflake is that we actually don't have to run a query to see what information is in that table. We can go to our database objects. We can select DDN Data Warehouse and Public, and then we're looking at the DVD film table. So instead of running a query where we select all from DVD film and we limit it to 10, we can identify what columns and what information are in this table already. So for this first example, we are going to gather all the information, but we're going to order it by the film titles. So let's start writing our query. I'm trying to put together my shopping list for this query. If we're gathering all the information, what could we use? Well, I could write out every single column name, or I could write select star because that gathers all the information. That's kind of a catch-all. And we're selecting it from the DVD film table. Now we said we wanted to order it by film titles. So let's write order by film title. Well, this isn't actually going to work because film title isn't a column in my database. Title is. So I'm going to order by title. So let's run this query and see what we get. All right, this is a great reminder. In Snowflake, if you're working with multiple sheets, always remember to select your warehouse. We are going to be in the analytics warehouse in the DDN data warehousing. You can check the introductory video if you did not, and this will help you walk through all of these steps of Snowflake. So making sure that you are connected to our database and the public schema, let's try and run that query again. Notice how long it takes to run this. It's about almost 2 seconds to run that query because we did a select all statement. But now we can see that all of the titles are sorted A to Z, all the way down through the 1,000 rows. So we're going to do another example, and we're also going to include our where clause into our order by clause. I know that we haven't learned where. We'll touch up on it a little bit later, but our where clause is a filter. So we want to see the rating, description, title, rental rate, and release year, where the rental rates are lower than $5 and the release years are ordered greatest to least. So thinking of my shopping list, I want to think about everything that I need. So I'm going to start writing out my select statement and think about my shopping list. So I need the rating, the description, the title of the film, the rental rate of the film, and the release year. Later in this course, when we work through joins and subqueries, we're really going to talk about formatting of our select statements. But right now, since these are so basic, we're just going to leave them as is and on one line. So we have everything we need. Now we need to think about what table we're drawing this from. Well, I know that we're using the DVD film table. We have this case, this filter, where we only want the rental rates that are lower than $5. So I'm just going to say where our rental rate, and we'll go into this much further in detail, is less than 5. And now we said we wanted to order by greatest to least released year. So if I'm ordering release year by greatest to least, I'm going to return all of the most recent films to the least recent films. So let's highlight this and run it. So now we have our rating, our description, our title, all of the rental rates that are less than $5, and the release year descending. So now let's think about, well, would this query change if we just wrote out the order by and then put our release year? And I want you to pause and think about, how would it change the query and why would it change the query? Great, so thinking about this, yes, it would change our query, because if we took out descending here, SQL automatically and by default orders it by ascending. So it would flip to the oldest release year to the most recent. Always remember that the goal of an order by statement is to sort records based on a column that you call. So either you want to sort them ascending or in descending order. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next lecture.